Hello everyone, and I want to continue to the saga of Bobby Fischer. And this is an interesting chess game because in this chess game, Bobby Fischer's opponent was Samuel Reshevsky, who was in fact one of the most important rivals of Bobby Fischer. They say, according to the legend, actually they didn't like each other so much. So Reshevsky was 8 times the chess champion of the United States. He was tied with Bobby Fischer for the all-time record. And at the same time, just like I told you, they were not very friendly to each other. So they were fierce rivals. Actually, once Reshevsky said that I would settle for 19th place if Fischer placed 20th in chess tournaments. So for Reshevsky, finishing ahead of Bobby Fischer was more important than winning chess tournaments. So he had something personal with Bobby Fischer. He wanted to defeat Bobby Fischer at all cost. But actually Bobby Fischer was almost all the time finishing chess tournaments ahead of Samuel Reshevsky. Of course, Fischer was the superior chess player. Reshevsky was born in 1911. He died in 1992. And Bobby Fischer, I believe, he was born in 1943. So Bobby Fischer was much younger than Samuel Reshevsky. Also, there is another interesting story between these two. In one of their chess games, one of their pairings, in one of the chess tournaments, in SUSE Interzonal Chess Tournament in 1967, Bobby Fischer was so late for his game with Reshevsky. He was actually 53 minutes late, and he only had 7 minutes left in his clock. And he made his, this is funny actually, he made his opening move without a word of apology. That's Bobby Fischer. Bobby Fischer was being Bobby Fischer, basically. That infuriated Reshevsky. Reshevsky was so angry and ferocious because of Fischer's behavior. And later, many times, Reshevsky said that he's not going to compete with the same team with Bobby Fischer, in the same team with Bobby Fischer. He also refused to play for the United States team in chess Olympiads of 1960, 62, and 66, just because Bobby Fischer, as the United States chess champion in that time, he was chosen ahead of Samuel Reshevsky for the top board. So finally, however, he did play on the lower board in 1970 at the same team with Bobby Fischer, and that was the only time the two men appeared in the same team in 1970. So anyway, despite their fierce rivalries, once Bobby Fischer greatly respected the older champion, he said that he thought Reshevsky was the strongest player in the world in the mid-1950s. So this is an interesting story between these two. So you can read also much about this interesting champion, Reshevsky, and his rivalry between Bobby Fischer. Anyway, okay, let me show you what happened in this chess game. This was a Blitz chess game from 1970, and Bobby Fischer had the white pieces, and he starts the game with e4, and Reshevsky, his rival, starts the game with replying with the Sicilian defense. Knight to f3, and Fischer is grabbing, he has more grip on d5 with pushing the c-pawn, developing the knights, and then g3, he is going to fianchetto his bishop to g7, and both players castled, d3, and then d6, h3, e5. We have some normal moves, and then knight is getting in, challenging the knight because knight is looking dangerous, but Bobby Fischer is charging from the queen side. Knight takes on d5, c takes on d5, c takes, a takes, and then pushing the pawn, and Reshevsky has a pass pawn. So he can also support the pawn with pushing the b pawn. This is why Bobby Fischer is pushing the pawn b5. And knight to c7, b6, knight to b5, and then rook to b4. Is capturing the pawn a good idea? Well, Reshevsky is capturing the pawn, but you can see that Bobby Fischer is attacking the a pawn, and also the knight is pinned. So pushing the pawn and increasing the pressure with doubling the rooks, and the knight is pinned. And this looks a little bit dangerous for black. So we have rook over rook from f to c8. And in this position, Bobby Fischer played a very annoying move. This pin is looking annoying. Bobby Fischer played bishop to f1, and basically he is threatening to push the pawn. And what do you do here? How to defend? It looks like defending is tricky, so we have rook to c2, and Fischer simply pushed the pawn and the knight is pinned. It looks like Reshevsky is losing material, and I'm sure that Bobby Fischer was blitzing out his moves. It must be frustrating for Reshevsky. So Bobby Fischer was the faster and much younger player, and he was much stronger actually. So we have a2, but actually this is not losing for black, even though black is losing material. He has some counterplay. So after e takes on d4, bishop takes on b5, bishop takes, rook takes on b5, and Reshevsky is a piece down, but he has two extra pawns, and also he has one passed pawn. The a pawn is looking very dangerous. So after rook over, targeting the d pawn, targeting the e pawn. So knight back, attacking the rook, but Reshevsky simply captured on e4. In this position, if capturing the rook with the knight, then capturing the rook with the queen is a very simple idea. So in this position, we have rook back and defending, and also attacking the rook right now. But in this position, believe it or not, but black is almost winning by force. So not going back with the rook, but can you see the force win? Rook takes on d2 is the correct move, and Bobby Fischer captured the rook. Rook takes on d2, and it is black to move and win. Of course, Reshevsky pushed the pawn, and Bobby Fischer is in big trouble. Well, Bobby Fischer was fighting until the last resources. That's how he fights. He was a fighter, so he is not resigning in this position. And of course, it was a blitz game. Anything can happen in 5 minutes time control. So instead of resigning in this position, where is the queen going? Bobby Fischer played rook takes on a2. And after probably thinking hard, Reshevsky greedily captured the queen, bishop takes on a1. And this was a blunder, an epic blunder by Samuel Reshevsky. And Bobby Fischer's notes are also available for this chess game. And Bobby Fischer said that, well, actually, let me show you the continuation. Rook takes in between move, this is check. And then rook takes bishop, and white has the knight, and also plus two rooks for the queen. And this is actually a very good compensation, and this is winning for white, actually easily winning in this position. But Bobby Fischer also admit that in his notes, after rook takes on a2, can you see the best move in this position, which is very simple. I saw that move actually immediately in just a few minutes, inside of 1 minute. It was very simple. So it's a mystery how Reshevsky missed that move. So maybe Reshevsky wanted to defeat Bobby Fischer too badly. Maybe you should not want to win too badly. Okay, maybe that was the problem. So being too ambitious is also a problem sometimes. So in this position, Bobby Fischer said that rook to a2, rook takes on a2 won easily for black. And then queen takes on a2, queen to e1. So let me show you the possibility. Rook takes on a2 is the winning move. What else? And then queen takes knight, deflecting the queen, and then pushing the pawn. And how to stop the d pawn? This is all over. If rook to b1, well, you can push the pawn, that's completely fine, and black is winning easily. and then capturing the rook, and black has the bishop and the queen against the queen. So basically black is winning a piece, but bishop to d4 is even stronger, so increasing the pressure on f2. If rook takes queen, capturing back and promoting the queen. Unbelievable. At top level chess competition, of course. This is hard to believe, I'm in disbelief, but Reshevsky missed that. He played unbelievable. Bishop takes on a1. Insane. Okay, the game continued. Rook takes, king down, and then rook takes on a1. And this is losing. Okay, pushing the pawn, but easily defending. Capturing, attacking the rook, but rook goes back. Targeting the d pawn and attacking the queen. Queen to d3, knight back, and all of the white pieces are correctly placed. And how to defend? How to defend the d pawn? So rook to b2 is on the cards. And defending is not so easy. Whatever you do, you are losing the d pawn. And then the rest is going to follow. So one queen is not enough in this position. Black needs two queens. One queen is not enough. So Fischer captured and then captured, and this is all over. Queen to c3. Well, Reshevsky continued to play. Queen back and then pushing the pawn. And this is just easily winning. So Fischer captured, forking two pieces, but checking the king, and then knight to b2. Easily defending everything, and also rook to b6 is on the cards. So queen to e4, and then rook to b6, the pawn is pinned. Queen to e1, check, check, check. You can see just by looking at these checks how Reshevsky hated to lose Bobby Fischer. So after queen to e4, king to d1 and queen to b1 is not possible because king to d2 and black is running out of checks. So this is why we have this desperate move, and Bobby Fischer is smashing in. Rook from b takes on g6, and this is all over. Well, Reshevsky simply give up his queen. In this position, if queen to b1, then king to d2, and where is the check? There is no more checks, and rook from g takes on g6, and this is game over. So king to d1, and Fischer simply captured. And we have queen takes on g6, rook takes, king to e2, king to f5. He is still playing. And after king to f3, Reshevsky resigned. Finally, unbelievable. Unbelievable rivalry. Unbelievable hatred, actually. So let me show you the possible continuation. King to e5, knight to d3, and then knight to f4, and the h-pawn is going to drop, no matter what black does. White is a piece up. This is all over. A disastrous, I repeat, a disastrous defeat for Samuel Reshevsky, probably one of the worst defeats in his chess career. The 8 times United States chess champion. He was originally from Poland, by the way, and after 1924, he became American citizen, and later he became one of the most dominant chess players in the United States, but not dominant enough to defeat Bobby Fischer, the legend. Of course, Fischer was the superior chess player, but in this chess game, Bobby Fischer played weirdly bad. So, but still, he defeated his opponent eventually. So, okay, what do you think about the rivalry between Bobby Fischer and Reshevsky, and what do you think about this chess game? I hope that you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time with more interactive chess games. So stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.